Tenaga Nasional expects its imbalance cost pass-through or ICPT receivables to fall, primarily due to the moderation of coal prices and as it fully recouped 10.4 billion ringgit of ICPT costs for the first half of this year. In a statement, the group said it expects to recover 4.7 billion ringgit of ICPT costs from Putrajaya in the remainder of the year. Its president and CEO Datuk Baharudin said the development will improve its working capital and cash flow levels in 2023 and subsequently gearing levels. Looking ahead to the first half of the 2024 financial year, TNB is expecting a recovery of about 7 billion ringgit from ICPT based on current fuel price trends, reflecting the company's proactive approach to managing its financial outlook, controlling fuel-related expenditures and collecting revenue. Baharin noted that TNB's prudent capital management enables it to reward its shareholders with an interim dividend of 18 sen, which accounts for 49.4% of the adjusted profit after tax and minority interest. MyNews Holdings has redesignated its founder and group CEO Dang Tai Lok as the group's executive chairman. This after previous chair Din Lian Bing resigned, citing time constraints arising from his other ongoing personal commitments. He will, however, stay on as an advisor to the company. In a bourse filing, MyNews said Dang's brother and deputy group CEO Dang Tai Wen will take over the reins as CEO. It said he has over 20 years' experience in the sector and that he started his retail career with MyNews after working from ground up with many retailers such as Max, CVS and McDonald's in Canada. In a separate filing, MyNews said its quarterly net loss widened in the third quarter of FY23, mainly due to higher selling and distribution costs. Net loss stood at 2.16 million ringgit against 1.45 million ringgit the year prior. Top line rose 9% to 185.79 million ringgit, fueled by the increase in the number of outlets and improvement in the overall in-store sales. At the close, MyNews shares rose 5.8% to 55 sen, valuing it at 412.7 million ringgit. AEON Credit Service Malaysia saw its second quarter FY 2024 net profit jump 59%, supported by higher transaction and financing volume. Earnings total 120.19 million ringgit, while revenue rose 18.2% to 471.73 million ringgit on stronger loan and financing growth. It declared an interim dividend of 28.5 cents per share. For the first half of FY 2024, net profit contracted by 8% to 219.55 million ringgit due to higher impairment losses on financing receivables. Revenue, however, increased by 17% to 924.4 million ringgit, fueled by higher transaction and financing volume. Looking ahead, the group said it remains cautious on the outlook for the second half of FY 2024 in view of prevailing economic headwinds, tightening policy rates to curb inflationary pressures, and volatility in the global banking industry and financial markets. It will continuously enhance its information technology capabilities to support its growth and fortify its long-term business sustainability. Shares in AEON Credit closed 0.35% higher at 11 ringgit 52 sen, giving it a market capitalization of 2.92 billion ringgit. Evergreen Max Cash Capital or EMCC, which debuted on the ACE market today, said it expects demand for pawnbroking to increase amid the escalating cost of living. In a press conference following the listing ceremony, its executive director Lau Kai Lun said the company aims to grow its market share from just over 3% to 10% in the next few years. He said the pawnbroking industry in Malaysia is expected to grow at a compounded growth rate of 5.9% between 2022 and 2024 and to reach 12 billion ringgit next year. EMCC, which has set aside 20 million ringgit from its initial public offering to open up 5 new pawn shops, will prioritise its existing markets in Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan and Pahang, which house its 22 existing Pajak King pawn shops. EMCC ended trading at 31.5 sen, valuing it at 351.19 million ringgit. That's 31% higher than its listing price of 24 cents apiece. It was Bursa's top active counter with 285.15 million shares traded. The Natural Resources, Environment and Climate Change Ministry will be meeting with state governments next week to discuss the establishment of a framework for the extraction of rare earth elements or REEs in the country. REEs are used in the production of various products and technologies, including electric vehicles, turbines and windmills. According to a Bernama report, its minister Nik Nazmi said the talks will focus on the processing aspects that need to be done locally, as well as potential areas that could be explored without disrupting the ecosystem of the permanent forest reserves. He said 80% of areas that may contain REEs are located outside the reserves and would like these to be prioritized to avoid harming the country's forests, which are among the oldest in the world. Nik Nazmi said this when winding up the debate on the motion of the 12th Malaysia Plan midterm review for his ministry at the Dewan Negara today.